Three things I did to quit drinking without Alcoholics Anonymous or AA. Never been to a meeting. I don't really know too much about it besides what you see in movies or anything like that. I don't know anybody in AA. Maybe I do, and I just don't know they're in AA because AA. But this is the three things I did, and I just want to preface this by saying a couple of things. One, this isn't a video telling you get sober, man. Like it's gonna change your life, that type of thing. Because I haven't not been drinking for 6 months or so. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna drink again. As of right now, I don't see drinking in the foreseeable future, but if you would ask me 7 years ago if I could ever quit drinking, I would have told you that's freaking crazy. I would never. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is that this 3-step process has been like 14 years in the making, basically. And so I'll give a little backstory real quick. I developed I don't know, I can say alcohol abuse habit, I guess. I don't know, maybe you say you're an alcoholic. I don't know. Starting when I was 16 and pretty much all the way up until like I was 24, drank pretty regularly and pretty heavily, I would say. So that's a pretty good stretch. Like you're looking like 8 years of kind of just abuse. Now in that time, I had started introducing fitness into my life. I was always an athlete in high school. Before that, since I was 7, I've always played soccer. So athletics kind of always really kept me from going over the deep end, I guess you could say, because I still always kept that in the back of my mind that you're an athlete first and then a party animal second kind of thing. That was kind of how I thought about myself and my identity during that time. But then at about the age of 20, I started seriously getting into fitness and working out. And that was the first thing that helped me to quit drinking, or the start of quitting drinking, when I was about 24 or so. Like I said, I had been working out for 4 years already consistently, but prioritizing the workout and making that the priority was step number one, basically. Because yes, I was still going to the gym, straight from the bar to the gym, hungover, stay up late, still go to work out because that was also important to me. But I started to shift my balance shift the balance or the scale towards more prioritizing the workout instead of kind of being 50-50, or maybe even more party and then workout second. I started to change because I really wanted to see what my body was really capable of if I didn't abuse it so much or try to burn the candle at both ends, basically. So that was step number one, is prioritizing the workout and kind of tipping the scale more towards fitness over partying and drinking. Step number two, and this was again around maybe 23, 24-ish, around that time, is maybe even sooner than that, 21, 22, is learning to say no. And what I mean by that is that I came from before I was ever a coach or a trainer, from the grocery industry, and kind of it's similar to the restaurant industry where you bust your ass all night at work or all day at work, and then you go out and party hard. So work hard, play hard. It's kind of the mindset, and then you show up the next day like you hungover, but you get through it, and then bam, you're ready for the next thing. So that's kind of where the lifestyle I was kind of living up to that point. And I started to slowly realize, again, wasn't completely saying I'm quitting drinking forever or I'm not going to drink anymore, but I started to prioritize the workout and see if I could feel better. I was kind of really tired of feeling like shit all the time, basically. Because on one end, I was an athlete. I was super into fitness. I worked out consistently 5-6 times a week, sometimes twice a day, depending on what was going on. And I ate pretty decent, but there was still going out and drinking, partying, drinking. And I felt like it was kind of holding me back a little bit from, my potential, and I wanted to change that. So learning to say no, and again, going back to that, it basically means that I had a group of friends that They all knew me as like that guy can party, that guy can drink, that guy can do this and that, and that was like my identity. That's what I was known for, and I really had to separate myself from that, and it wasn't easy. It's not. None of this is easy, and it took a lot of time. It didn't just happen overnight, but I did start to set little boundaries for myself and say no to certain things. So to give you an example, it started with going out every day of the week and having somewhere to be and party and hang out at night, to I'm not gonna go out on the weekdays. I'm only gonna go out on the weekends. So that for me was Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Cool. So instead of 7 days of going out and drinking and partying, we're down to 3 now. Awesome. Still hitting it hard those 3 days, which again, it's a step in the right direction, but it wasn't completely where I wanted to be. And then eventually it turned into like, I'm not going out Friday nights. And then I'm not going out Sunday nights. So now I only go out 1 day out of the week now, Saturday night. That's my night to go out. Or pick a night, and whatever night I go out, that's it. Like, it's done after that. No more going out for the rest of the week. So again, same thing, still hitting me hard whatever day I was going out, but now, however long this has been, it's from 7 days to 4 days to 3 days to now it's once. And so yes, you got to learn to say no, but then that also kind of means isolation too, a little bit, because if you're with one group of friends and the circle that you run with and hang out with is still about that life, well, then all of a sudden you don't really have anything to do with them anymore. Basically, like you don't really, you hang out with them and so you end up kind of having to reassess and kind of get a new circle of friends. Ideally, it helps if you get a new circle of friends that's a little more in line with what you're trying to achieve and more positive and things like that. And then fast forward here, now we went from 7 days, 4 days, 3 days, 1 day a week drinking and stuff like that, and then now I'm like maybe 27, 28, and now I still get a little messed up every once in a while at a family party. Still like to, booze it up a little bit. Not every weekend. Definitely not as much as it used to be. But, still let myself go and, hang out a couple, occasionally. Socially, I guess you could say. And then that eventually, within the past year or so, started to taper down even more, to where, like, I remember I got, like, pretty blasted one year at a birthday party like 2 years ago, and it wasn't good. Like, I remember like embarrassing myself and feeling shitty about how I was acting, because I actually remembered it for once, and then I started to reflect and think about all the other times that I've been blasted, feeling shitty and acting shitty and just being that person that I didn't want to be anymore. So I noted, and then I started to notice that in people around me, because again, you never, it's everywhere. Everybody drinks, I mean, depending on what you do or who you hang out with, but it wasn't like I was hanging out with a bunch of sober people, and then and then this past year, again, ever since that birthday party 2 years ago, I catch a little buzz again here and there, but never blacked out again, not getting so smashed that I can't drive, like nothing like that. And then tail end of last year, 2022, probably from like probably from like October to New Year's Eve, like I maybe had like 5 drinks, if that. And then so I had a beer on New Year's Eve, I remember, of 2022, and that was the last time that I had a beer. And now here we are in June, almost done with June, going into July. So it's been about 6 months, and again, like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to stand right here and say that I'll never drink again, because I don't know. I can't confidently say that. I'm still just 6 months into this, and like I said, I had a bad history of abusing alcohol. But what I can say from these 3 steps of, prioritizing my workout and saying no and being able to like isolate and kind of get over that FOMO and kind of create a new identity for myself, and from slowly tapering down, is that like I definitely have it under control now. Like I've had it under control now for the past, I'll say confidently, like 2 to 3 years, where I'm not itching to get a beer, craving to get a beer, like I'll, partake, but again, never getting like anything past like a cute little buzz, basically. To now, like I said, it's been 6 months and I haven't had a drink, and I don't really desire one at this point in time. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm never going to drink again, because I just don't know. I can't confidently say that. But right now, what I can confidently say is that I don't have a desire to drink, and I attribute it all to this long ass journey that I've been on to get to this point in time. Because again, if you would have asked me 7 years ago, hey man, would you quit drinking for a week or a month or a year, I would have told you hell no, like that's never gonna happen. Like I can't live like that. And so here we are now. So that's just a little bit about like kind of my journey with alcohol, and hopefully it'll help somebody out there and kind of know that you're kind of not going through this alone.